Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our... I'm Joel Eby, and with me is Alice Watts, engineer on the new Shepard program. Alice, welcome.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to share another great new Shepard launch with you. Today marks the 29th mission overall for our new Shepard flight program, and it's a really special one. Today, it's all about the moon. We're going to be spinning up the capsule to simulate lunar gravity for our payload customers on board.
It's so cool and totally unique. The first time we've ever tried to do this. The program's come a long way, and note that this is the first new Shepard mission since our inaugural New Glenn flight into orbit just a couple weeks ago. So now New Shepard is one of two active launch systems at Blue Origin. What a time.
I know, so crazy. That launch was incredible to watch. We've spent years looking forward to that moment, and now it's an all-new era for Blue.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think, I was there in Florida for that launch, and we were able to enjoy, hearing the BE-4 engines lighting up from the factory for the first time. Such an epic achievement for Blue Origin.
I'm sure you could feel it as well.
Yeah, you could feel the whole building shake, and it was a little bit of a delayed reaction when the sound finally reaches the building just a few seconds later. Here's a cool video of that. You can see the whole team at Blue celebrating the moment of liftoff. I love seeing this clip, the amount of passion that Team Blue has to be able to all join in. This is, by the way, this is in the middle of the night when they all showed up at our auditorium there in Kent and cheered on the liftoff of that rocket. Such a cool moment. So much passion from Team Blue. Congrats once again to the New Glenn team for reaching orbit on our first attempt. So getting back to today's flight, Alice, lay the groundwork for us. Tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, so there's no crew on board this one today. We're flying another one of our signature payload flights, though.
Yeah, and one remarkable thing about our system is that our capsule and engines and our boosters, they're all completely interchangeable between different vehicles. So you might remember we launched an all-new capsule and booster combo recently on our NS-29 mission. Today we're flying the reusable booster from that mission, but the capsule that we use for payloads is in action today. That one's been in flight since 2017. It's seen a lot of space action so far.
You're right. That capsule's had 10 flights so far, and overall this will be the 14th payload flight for the program. And after today, we'll have flown over 175 payloads to space.
Amazing.
We now have 3 capsules and 2 boosters in service to better address all of the demand for our payload and astronaut customers.
We're already seeing that happen. We've flown 47 people above the Kármán line so far, and that accounts for nearly 7% of all astronauts to date. It's a thrilling time for space exploration, and for all of us here at Blue Origin. All right, we're at T-minus 12 minutes to go here. Let's talk about what do we have on board today.
Yeah, this flight is carrying 30 payloads, 29 of which are inside the crew capsule, and 1 of them is on the booster. Now, over half of these payloads are funded by NASA's Flight Opportunities Program. They're testing innovations critical to achieving the Artemis's program goals and exploring the lunar surface. The other half of the payloads come from universities and commercial providers. These are also testing innovations that advance various lunar efforts.
It's all about the moon. And speaking of testing, 4 of these payloads are from Honeybee Robotics, a Blue Origin company. The team there is doing some really, I'd say, some groundbreaking work, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. After all, these technologies are all about breaking ground on the moon. Specifically, they're about lunar regolith, or the soil of the moon. They're researching how we'll excavate and process that soil. Honeybee is doing a lot of great work for us right now, as well as paving the way for future lunar exploration and habitation.
And if you've been following Blue, you know how important all this lunar research is for our mission and vision. So, hey, big shout out to the Honeybee team for all their incredible work. So let's get into a little bit more of the science here with this lunar spin technique. Alice, lay the groundwork for how we're going to do this.
Yes, so let's imagine spinning a bucket of water around in a circle, let's say. And the water stays pressed against the bottom of the bucket as you spin it because of the outward force created by the spin. Now this force is called the centrifugal force. When the capsule spins today, everything inside will feel pushed outward towards the wall of the spacecraft. This outward force mimics gravity. Now, to simulate lunar gravity, which is about 1/6 that of Earth's gravity, the capsule's spin speed is carefully controlled. The faster it spins, the stronger the force. So the spin is calibrated to match the weaker pull of gravity on the moon. Now, this isn't real gravity, but rather a force that feels like gravity because of the spin. Today, we will be spinning at 11 rotations per minute. And compared to our normal spin rate of 1/2 a rotation per minute, today's will be a much more intense spin, 22 times more intense to be specific.
That's pretty significant. And think about that. We're able to do this testing only 62 miles away from Earth, or that's where the Kármán line is, 100 kilometers, rather than having to go, all the way to the surface of the moon, or 240,000 miles away. So this testing is much more achievable. And tell us, what kinds of testing are we going to be doing within these payloads?
Yeah, I just want to note that we have entered a hold here, so we'll watch that clock. But to talk specifically more about the payloads, let's imagine what it would take to go back to the moon. Now this time to stay. What kind of technologies are required, and how would we do those tests here on Earth before the voyage? Well, you'd need to cover these 6 crucial areas: in situ resource utilization, or ISRU, dust mitigation, advanced habitation systems, sensors and instrumentation, small spacecraft technologies, as well as entry, descent, and landing technologies. It's quite a full range of lunar testing we're able to do.
Yeah, and the fact that all this proves these technologies, we can prove these technologies at a lower cost on New Shepard. It's kind of another step towards Blue's mission of radically reducing the cost of spaceflight. And up until now, if you wanted to simulate the moon's gravity, you could only do that for just a few seconds using centrifuges or parabolic flights.
Yeah, and with this new capability, NASA can now expose their payloads to lunar gravity for a significantly longer duration, about 2 minutes today. And they're capable of testing much larger payload sizes. On top of all of that, it allows research to get their test results back the same day, just a few hours right after the capsule lands. So yeah, New Shepard is not just a launch vehicle. It is essential for the testing of technology that will make a sustained presence on the moon possible.
Well, thank you for that groundwork there. All right, we're coming up here. As you acknowledged, there's a hold going on here with the clock. We're about 2 minutes into the hold. We expect the mission control team soon to be ready for to do the go poll to proceed into terminal count, but they're going to have to clear this hold first. So we are going to toss it over to the rocket as we get a little bit more information about what's going on. So stand by, and let's visit New Shepard out of the pad. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are looking at the New Shepard rocket on the pad, getting ready for the NS-29 flight. This is the 14th payload flight for the program today. We are still in a hold. The hold is, as you can see, it's ticking up there at about 6 minutes and counting. We're still getting information about what's going on with the vehicle from the mission control team, so stand by for that. But you know, while we're in a hold, it's good to remind people about the New Shepard program broadly. So let's talk about the incredible contribution the New Shepard's made into the commercial space industry so far. You know, New Shepard, it is something that has dramatically helped to improve access to space. And, you know, it was not long ago that in order to go to space, if you wanted to call yourself an astronaut, you had to dedicate a large portion of your life and resources to training and really dedicating yourself to, you know, a long journey of becoming a professional astronaut. And even then, only a select few would be able to have that privilege. But now with New Shepard flying regularly, it's now everyday people that can travel beyond this planet. Space is really starting to open up, and it's no longer just the professionals that can experience space flight. So with that, hey, let's take a moment and look at some of the ways that flying to space on New Shepard has impacted so many astronauts to date.
Capsule. Go.
You know, I love seeing those first moments of our astronauts exiting the capsule. They're breathing in Earth's air again, and they're letting their reactions about what they just went through just completely spill over. It's one of the best parts of watching humans fly to space. And you can really see the impact that it's made to each of those special astronauts when they're able to view Earth from space through those windows.
Yes, it's an incredible moment for everyone, and it's, you know, that's what it's all about. And as you know, even our name, Blue Origin, it means Earth. Earth is humanity's blue origin. We look back and we see a blue dot in the sky. And now on New Shepard, astronauts get to witness firsthand our planet in the vastness of space as they look out those large windows and see the blackness of space and the beautiful blue Earth. And they return with a newfound hope for the future of Earth.
So yeah, let's talk about, I mean, today we're doing a payload flight, the 14th payload flight. We talked about this. We're doing some really cool new lunar spin technology that we're going to try out to simulate lunar gravity. So New Shepard, we talk about it being a great platform for smaller scale space research, like what we're doing today. It's great for opening up the gateways of humans and all kinds of new humans to be able to access space themselves and to take a trip to the Kármán line. So with all of that, like, tell us what's going on with New Shepard as a program. What's coming up?
Yeah, demand is just going up here on the New Shepard program. Blue will be, we'll be increasing our cadence capacity over the year, and but one thing we will never compromise on is safety. We like to talk about all of the redundant safety systems we have all over the New Shepard vehicle. There are backups to the backups. The entire system has been designed around safety at the center.
That's right. I want to cut in here and just kind of note that we're still in a hold with the New Shepard 29 mission as we get ready to launch today. So the intel we're getting from Mission Control is actually about weather today. We're actually waiting. As you can see, there's a cloud cover above us. We can fly in clouds. Our camera systems, of course, they can't always see clearly through the clouds when we are up there, so we prefer to have clear skies when we're flying. But nothing's necessarily going to prevent us, but they're still taking a look at weather. I think they've sent a weather balloon up there, and they're waiting for the right data to show up with the results of that weather balloon check. So that's what's causing the hold at the moment. So we're going to keep waiting through this hold as we give the mission team some time to get the right data that they're looking for. So getting back to New Shepard, I mean, you talked about that commitment to safety. It's not just for our astronauts; it's also for everyone back at the ground in Texas. There's a crew. I mean, your team, Alice, is down there in mission control and supporting the launch. So it's when we talk about safety, it's not just for the astronauts that are aboard on human flights. It's also for all the people that are on the ground in West Texas as well.
Yeah, that's right. The team is not too far away from that launch pad that we're looking at right now. Only a couple miles. So keeping everyone safe is of utmost priority here.
Yeah. All right, so still in a hold, 13 minutes and counting. We're going to just toss it back to the rocket, keep enjoying these live views that are coming from West Texas of New Shepard on the pad. And we will be right back as soon as we have a little bit more information. Stand by. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is the NS-29 mission for New Shepard. This is the 14th payload flight for our vehicle program. We're still in a hold as we are awaiting the right weather conditions for flight today. But while we're in a hold, let's revisit that exciting flight that happened just a couple weeks ago. We talked about that at the top of the show. The New Glenn 1 NG-1 mission was the first orbital mission for Blue Origin. For years, we've been, doing these New Shepard broadcasts and talking about what's going on behind the scenes as the New Glenn team designs and builds and tests the New Glenn vehicle. Well, that's now, for the first time ever, it's behind us, and we had a great, successful flight. So we're thrilled that we got to cross this important milestone of reaching orbit on our New Glenn vehicle. Let's go take a look back at how that flight went.
New Glenn is ready for launch of Blue Ring Pathfinder.
This is our first flight, and our key objective today is to
I personally will never forget that moment where the camera zooms in to see those 7 BE-4 engines all lit up together.
I know, those mock diamonds were crazy. I've seen them during an engine test down in Texas, but like 1 engine, not 7 engines.
Totally.
So to see them all together on the vehicle, clustered like that, creating that beautiful pattern, it's just breathtaking.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for so many years, you're, building this vehicle. I mean, my team is the content team at Blue, so we're, creating like animated packages showing what New Glenn's going to look like when it's flying. There's only so much you can do to imagine it, though, ahead of time. And the moment that I saw those mock diamonds all appearing together, kind of took my breath away as well, just because it's like, it surprises you with what the reality of all that power together is like. The whole moment of New Glenn's liftoff, seeing that just like massive rocket start to breathe and shake when the engines light up. And people have asked me about the payload that was aboard that day. Talk about that. Where is it now?
Yeah, the payload that was aboard New Glenn is our Pathfinder for our Blue Ring, and in fact, it's still up in orbit. It's going to be in a permanent orbit with the second stage, and will remain up there basically forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
So amazing. So we're looking forward to, of course, what's next with New Glenn, as well as these ongoing flights for New Shepard. So, hey, we're still in a hold here, 20 minutes and counting. Let's take a moment and check back in with our mission control team and see if they got any updates for us. Welcome back, everybody. This is the NS-29 mission, our 14th flight for a payload flight on New Shepard program today. As you can see, we are in an extended hold here. We are waiting for a good weather open. As you can see, there's a lot of cloud cover going on in Texas. We want to make sure that the conditions for the weather are just right for flight today. I know personally, I am looking forward to seeing whatever we might be able to see from the camera views on the ground of the lunar G-spin technique that we're going to do today. So, I mean, definitely we want to see clear skies if it's possible, but as you can see, it's a lot of cloud cover. We're just assessing the conditions right now with the weather before we decide to fly. So bear with us. We're going to keep waiting for this hold as the team looks for a good opening today. All right, welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we've been in 30 minutes of hold almost here as we are assessing the weather conditions for today's launch. We want to make sure we're flying with just the right conditions. So the team is looking at that information. It sounds like they're not loving what they're seeing so far, but we are going to keep standing by to see if we can find a good window for this flight to be able to lift off today and have a successful flight to space. So stand by with us. We're going to keep viewing these great live views of our rocket getting ready on the pad today. We'll be with you. Welcome back, everybody. We are still wading through this hold as our team assesses weather conditions for today's launch. And, you know, on the topic of weather, we have a team that is, you know, very faithfully working in the background, assessing weather conditions, and there's a lot that goes into making weather decisions for New Shepard. New Shepard, of course, like is unique in a lot of ways for a spaceflight program. One of those ways that it's unique is that the entire mission profile happens right here on Launch Site 1 in Texas. From launch to landing of both the booster and the separated capsule, they all land right here. So it's really important that the team is able to kind of assess all the continuous weather conditions right here in Texas for the launch. So why don't we take a look at what goes into making some of these weather calls for New Shepard.
On a launch day, we give several go, no-go recommendations based on how the forecasts evolve throughout the morning. You have subject matter experts in every subsystem sitting in front of their consoles, intently monitoring everything going on to make sure that the astronauts are launched safely.
And for the booster and capsule, so lots of work that goes into predicting weather and assessing weather on launch day.
Now, I can say from the camera side, like we have these long-range cameras that are sitting on the ground ready to point up at the rocket and watch it in flight. Once it does pass through a cloud layer, we have, you know, infrared cameras to be able to kind of look through that. And that's why if you've watched these broadcasts before, that's probably what you might remember noticing is sort of these funny colored views that are infrared cameras that are picking up heat signatures from the vehicle that are on the other side of the clouds. So that's possible too, but it's always nice to be able to fly on a completely clear day. You just don't always get that. So we're hearing from Mission Control. They're still waiting for these conditions there's a potential window. They're holding it open for this window. So stand by, bear with us. I know it's never fun to wait through all these holds, but sometimes you just got to wait for the right conditions. So we're going to keep standing by here. Let's toss it back to New Shepard as we check in again with our Mission Control team. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're still waiting through this hold as the mission team assesses weather conditions for today's flight. While we're in the hold, let's take a moment to recognize some of the people who work at Blue, the individuals who drive our amazing programs here at Blue. We've got such incredible technology and such an important mission here at Blue. Overall, the mission that guides us. But we always like to say it's the people of Blue that make this place truly great. So let's now take a moment and introduce you to one of those very special Team Blue members.
It's a privilege to work at a company that makes
Yeah, Darren's work at Blue is a great example of how he supports our important company mission, and I can tell just from the footage there, he's doing that from the Huntsville location where we manufacture. It's our high-rate manufacturing for our engines, our factory there, and that factory did such amazing work last year as we kind of ramped up production on readiness for NG1, as well as supporting the ULA's Vulcan flights as well. You know, Blue's a place where we have big ambitions, and to meet all that ambition, we're continuing to grow as a company. We have positions open across our manufacturing sites, including Cape Canaveral, West Texas, the Seattle area, and Huntsville, Alabama. So, of course, we want to remind you that if you want to consider joining our mission, we need great people across so many of the verticals and so many locations here at the company. So please do us a favor. Check out those job listings online at blueorigin.com/careers. You know, career in aerospace, working right alongside all of us here at Blue to build a road to space for the benefit of Earth. That career could be closer than you think. welcome back, everybody, and thank you for your extended patience as we get through this extended hold here. 48 minutes and counting on this hold. This is one of the longer ones we've seen, but of course there's the team in Mission Control is looking for just those ideal conditions for flight, and the weather balloon that they had sent up, they're just assessing the data is coming back from that weather balloon, and they're just hoping to find a good window here. So bear with us. We're still looking for that great window for flight today. We're in contact with Mission Control here in the background, and we'll just keep bringing you updates as long as there's a chance we're still going to fly today. So bear with us. Let's toss it back out to New Shepard as we wait through this hold. Welcome back, everybody. We're still in a hold here as we assess weather conditions for the possible liftoff of New Shepard today on the NS-29 mission, the 14th flight of our payload system, our payload flights. This is the 14th one, and we've got some really cool Lunar G technology that is going to be tested on this flight. So we want to make sure the conditions are just right to get all those tests successfully sent to space. So while we're in a hold, while we got all these great live view cameras down in West Texas of our launch pad there in West Texas, Launch Site 1, let's zoom out a little bit and talk about the area where we launch, which is near the town of Van Horn, Texas. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at the home of New Shepard down in West Texas, Van Horn.
Gosh, that place, it's like a second home to me. You know, I've spent much time down there over the last few years here, and I will never forget the drive on Highway 54 to the launch site on those early launch mornings with the sun rising, those panorama shots of the desert. I love that place. It's just the perfect area for our astronauts to experience a flight to space, and a great place for our team to help them get there. You and I, Joel, both have spent lots of time down in Van Horn supporting these missions. And people often ask, like, why is it that Blue Origin chose such a remote place to build a launch site, you know, in the middle of the desert?
Yeah, it's, I mean, the answer to that is partially it's just space to operate, space for space. There's been so much room down there for us to operate not only this rocket, but a lot of the other test activities that we have going on for engines. It takes a large area to be able to do all that work and to launch this particular suborbital rocket, since, you know, we talked about this, like, it's the whole mission profile that we have to support here. We use the site not only to launch the booster, but to land the booster just a couple miles away from the launch pad. And also the crew capsule also comes down right on its own, right in back to the desert where it started. So it's really the home of the entire flight profile. And keep in mind that traditionally, rockets will launch from a place like the coast of Florida, and they'll fly over the Atlantic Ocean. And when astronauts return from a place like the ISS, their point of return isn't really anywhere, you know, related to where they launch from necessarily. So that's not so with New Shepard. We needed this space to be able to operate the full flight from launch all the way through landing of both vehicles right here. And really, I mean, you know, this distant rural landscape that you're seeing here, it provides, you know, an expansive environment to not only launch New Shepard, but to test our engines, and to do all this operational work away from wildlife and human population. So even though we don't really broadcast anymore from the launch site itself, it used to be that when we did these New Shepard broadcasts, we would sort of, you know, all camp out down there. It was like, you know, doing a week of space camp for all of us fans of rocketry, and that was fun. We don't broadcast from down there anymore. You and I are sitting here in our Kent headquarters to do this, but we get these live camera views that, you know, they always take you right back to the site. There's nothing quite like that. You mentioned it earlier, that, you know, the morning drive when you were, you know, waking up in Van Horn before the sun has come up and you're driving into the site. It's about, what, 25 miles or so. The sun is crusting over those mountains on the east. It's a really special feeling.
Yeah, I've got a very special playlist I listen to every launch morning, and I still have that tradition today, driving in here early morning. So that beautiful sky there, you know,
Yeah.
the stars just light up at night, and it's just such a great place. It really sets the tone to go to space.
Yeah, what you're looking at there, this picture is a live camera view of our landing pad. Obviously, we haven't flown the mission yet today, so the booster's not there yet, but you can kind of make out the little bit of a clearing space ahead in that shot. But that ridge of West Texas mountains to the west there, that's the feeling you get with these wide open skies you're talking about. We talk about space being the final frontier, and we kind of sometimes think about West Texas as sort of like that doorstep to the final frontier. So we're still in a hold here, 58 minutes. We're approaching about an hour of hold as we give the mission team time to just assess the conditions ready for flight. Again, they're looking primarily at the weather right now and making sure that they have a good window to operate this mission. Once again, this is a very special kind of mission for Blue Origin. This is the first time we're ever going to do this experiment where we spin the crew capsule and simulate lunar gravity, 1/6 of what Earth's gravity is like, through kind of basically creating a centrifuge in the crew capsule. And all of our payloads that we have on board today are kind of geared up to take advantage of that lunar G spin. So it's a very special mission, and we just got to make sure the conditions are just right to get this one done. So please bear with us. What we're hearing is that we have just a little bit more time that the mission team wants to be able to give to assess the conditions for flight. So I think it could be another 20 minutes or so from what we're hearing, that they're going to leave this window open and keep assessing the conditions for flight. So bear with us. We are going to keep watching and waiting here as we hopefully make our way towards liftoff. I do see there that the some information on the screen is just kind of refreshed, and they've reset the mission clock to 10 minutes, but the whole clock, it's a new hold, a fresh hold. I think we probably crossed that 1 hour threshold. So yeah, we're going to continue getting some information here from Mission Control and hoping and waiting for a successful launch today. So bear with us. Let's go back to New Shepard on the pad. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are still in a hold. We're giving the mission team time to assess the weather conditions for the flight today. As you can see, there's a heavy cloud cover going on. Like you said a little bit earlier, Alice, there's other things that we can't see with our eyeballs going on with the weather. We've sent up a weather balloon, and they're tracking specific conditions that they're looking for to make sure that we're ready for flight today. I personally can't wait to see the results of this mission, but of course, as with any mission, you got to make sure that the conditions are just right for flight. So we're going to keep giving them time. The mission team is saying that they need to assess this for a few more minutes to be able to know whether there's a window for flight today. So bear with us. Thank you for your patience. We also here are watching this live on air and hoping and crossing our fingers that we get a good moment to be able to fly to space today. And we're right there with you. So bear with us. Let's toss it back to the rocket on the pad. Welcome back, everybody. We're still on a hold here in West Texas at Launch Site 1 as we are assessing the conditions for launch, and the team is still working their way through looking for that good window to be able to launch today. Bear with us, stand by with us as it takes a lot of patience to get through a hold like this, but that's okay. We've got to make sure that we're ready for flight, and all those factors got to line up just right. So in the meantime, we're here just plugged into the mission control in the background and making sure that we get all those updates, and we still have a window, a possibility that we are going to be able to lift off today, so that's what we're hoping for here. So bear with us as we look for that ideal condition. Let's toss it back to New Shepard as we wade through the hold.
walk through a full flight day, step by step, all of the important moments. And here on the bridge is one of my favorite moments that we even practice during astronaut training, which is your hero pose. You stand there next to the capsule, strike a pose, and get your picture taken before entering the capsule.
That's right. Yeah, one time I also got to played the role of an astronaut in training for one of those run-throughs. And yeah, you said for real astronauts that we take on New Shepard, it's only a couple days of their time that we have to do with training. For us at Blue Origin, I remember many, many long months and many trips to Texas as we worked out the details of exactly how that was going to work. My crew is the media crew, so like the photographers and the videographers, and making sure that we get the footage and the pictures for the astronauts, and all of that stuff had to be carefully practiced and timed along with the New Shepard team in order to make sure that we were in full sync and we were not going to like cause any extra delays to the mission sequence. And so we had to do a lot of practicing with that. But one time I remember I got to be an astronaut and step into the crew capsule and take a seat and hear the Capcom voice of Capcom through the radio as they are prepping you for a flight. And that was quite a surreal experience to be able to just sort of imagine what our astronauts are going to be able to go for.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was also fortunate enough to be in the capsule on the pad during one of our comms tests, and it's the closest that I've certainly come to space, but you can feel nearly what all the astronauts would be feeling that moment, minus some of the noises and the vibrations from the propulsion module. So it's a surreal experience.
Yeah. And the view, I mean, we always talk about these large windows. Yeah. One of the things that we always also talk about with the large windows is not just that the windows are large, but the entire surface area of the capsule is covered in a remarkable percentage. I think it's a third of the capsule's surface area is covered in window. And so while every astronaut that is sitting in one of those seats gets their own picture view into, looking out to see Earth descending away from them, and to see, space, and then once they unbuckle, they can look through their own window. I remember that astronaut Audrey Powers, I was asking her after her flight, like what did she experience, and the story that she told me was really, it stuck with me, was that it's not just about your window. It's like when you're up there in space, you're looking through your window, you're looking down at Earth through your window, and then you have this natural inclination to turn around and talk to your crewmates and point something out to them. And now Audrey told me that the moment she did that, she was just struck by this panorama of all the other windows that are in there together. That you've got this amazing panoramic view of the entire Earth that is kind of floating underneath your crew capsule. And that was just kind of like a striking moment that she didn't anticipate. And it's, not having gone to space myself, I can imagine there's a lot of things that you probably are hit with just a sensory overload when you're inside that crew capsule, looking down at Earth through these windows. So today we've got these payload boxes, as you pointed out, that you can see through especially that left window there. You can see the silhouette of those payload boxes there. The capsule's loaded up with those boxes, and so hopefully those boxes are going to get to enjoy those large windows that our astronauts normally do.
Yeah, and quite a spin today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the footage that we see coming back on every mission, you can see the normal amount in that you said it was like, what?
About a half a rotation a minute.
Half a rotation per minute, and then today's flight is supposed to be much more intense, 22 times faster than you would normally get on a normal New Shepard mission, so that would be quite intense. And I don't know what that would feel like for a human. I mean, it would feel like some form of gravity.
You'd be pulled towards the walls and the windows and be able to sense
gravity. It's like a sideways centrifuge today. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we at Blue Origin have been looking forward to this flight for a very long time, and really looking forward to seeing the results of it. It's the kind of tech that our team was able to put together and kind of work with a lot of our customers, including the NASA team and the Honeybee team here at Blue, as they look forward to what it's like to simulate lunar gravity. Once again, this is just incredibly important for the Blue Origin mission, which, sometimes we like to say all roads for Blue go through the moon. We've got a lot of things on our forecast of programs that all kind of are, in a way, interlocking that kind of support one another. We talked about the Blue Ring program earlier this month that we launched on New Glenn, on the first New Glenn flight, which is the Blue Ring Pathfinder. And that Blue Ring technology is going to create such a great infrastructure in open space and orbital space for us to be able to increase communications and data and all kinds of, it's like a Swiss Army knife for space. And that will, of course, overlap and communicate with programs that we have, like lunar landers that are going to the moon. And other pieces of lunar technology, the vision for Blue Origin to be able to go back to the moon and to really establish all of the components that are necessary in order to go back to the moon this time to stay. There's a lot going into that, and so flights like today are really a good way for us to prove out how those technologies can be put into practice. And to do it at a subscale like New Shepard is really cool benefit.
Yeah, it's really cool that they're going to get about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes of Lunar G today.
Okay, so yeah, the hold that we have going on here, it says 24 minutes, but that was in addition to a previous hour that we were counting upwards. So the mission time has definitely shifted for today. One of the major issues that we're looking for is just the right weather conditions. I'm actually hearing from Mission Control that we are also troubleshooting a vehicle issue. This is kind of a normal part of the process of getting ready for flight, is we're making sure that all systems are go for launch. So a couple things going on today. There's the weather issue, and there's also one vehicle issue that they're currently troubleshooting, which is accounting for this extra time that we have on the clock here. So bear with us. We have not yet called for a scrub, and usually happens a little bit earlier than this, but sometimes we want to give them all the time that they need to make that call. So the mission team is working furiously. Their heads down in mission control, and they are working together to see if they can hold on to the open time window that they have to make this mission happen today. So it's possible we'll scrub, but we're still holding on to that hope that we can find that good window for flight today. So bear with us. Thank you. And thank you for your immense patience with this extended timeline for today's flight. With that, let's toss it back to the rocket and just enjoy these great views of New Shepard getting ready for flight. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the attempt for NS-29, the 14th payload flight for new Shepard program. As you can see, we've been in an extended hold here as the time has ticked down to the T-minus 10-minute marker, and then we've been just waiting through as the mission team is working in the background. In addition to tracking the thick clouds that we're seeing today, we've also encountered a vehicle issue related to the booster's avionics. That's going to take us beyond our launch window, unfortunately. We're going to be scrubbing today's launch to look into this issue further and hopefully find a better weather window open to be able to make sure that this is a successful flight for the NS-29 mission. So once that turnaround plan is confirmed, we're going to announce a new launch window. For now, you can follow us on social media for updates. Hey everyone, thank you for bearing with us today as we're hopeful throughout the launch countdown today to find that window to open for flight today, but we just didn't find it. We're going to scrub today. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for your patience. Please join us when we announce our new launch window coming up. Follow us on social media for updates.